Guys, I'm back with another live. We're doing this one a little bit late. Kind of got bored. It's been a minute. Um, this controversial topic is kind of just, is social media affecting relationships and things like that? Just like, I guess, what people think is reality. I've been looking through controversial topics a lot recently. One of the articles that I just barely pulled up talked about like 100 different controversial topics, but broke it down in like technology, healthcare, different things. This one was in technology, and I thought it'd be interesting because I actually want to talk about this one, and I think it is 100%. You want my answer? 100% changing relationships, and it's affecting it. I would say in a bad way, probably more than it is good. Um, it puts these faults. How do I say this? Like idealistic, makes an idealistic person, and that's really not attainable. You see all these people and girls everywhere that is kind of not necessarily real. It could be changed. There is some that is real, but it's also like it's not the first published. They could still change faces. They can edit. They can do all these things. So I think it's changing a lot, and I think that it's also making masculinity look bad in a way. It's kind of making people think that masculinity is a guy taking control over you, when really it's not. It's the exact opposite. The more masculine the guy is, the more I feel like he wants and feels like he needs to protect you. And if you put that label on him that he's trying to control you and that he is trying to hurt you or harm you, it kind of just breaks the relationship because he is masculine, that he, I guess, takes in that like that masculinity, and he pays attention to every small detail, and with that small detail he'll find if it's your best interest. And you say that's controlling, but really he's just looking out for you. And when you think it's controlling, what is he supposed to do? Because after so many times, it's like the boy who cried wolf. He's not going to help you anymore, and you're going to go to your friends and post on social media that he cheated on you and that he was controlling, and so you left or he left. Or and it just, I feel like social media is messing up the reality and making idealistic goals and settings, because all the girls we see are not the same. All of these people, like guys that I see on Instagram that are super fit, it didn't just go from fit. They don't tell you that they've been working out forever. They don't tell you everything they take, even if they are natural, which I feel like a lot of natural guys. Um, it takes a lot of hard work, and they don't tell you that it's taken 4, 5, 6 years, and they get good lighting, they get all these things, and every body is different, and so we're kind of comparing to these things that aren't real, but the world or matrix or whatever you want to call it is getting really good at making these fake things seem real. There's people that believe in like die-hard Marvel fans that be like, I believe that I'm going to do this. I believe in this guy. Like, yes, you do, but you're idolizing these heroes. The thing about a man, actually, I'm going to quote Andrew Tate for a second, like him or hate him. He says, one of the coolest and like most devastating things about being a man is you're born without value. 100% agree with that. You are born with nothing, and no one cares about you unless you build a name for yourself. Now, that's not necessarily bad, because you can build yourself up to be a hero to literally everyone. If I want to be a hero, you build yourself up, you work out, you train hard, you read, and people look up to you. That's why people have influence. You look at YouTubers, you look at this, because they have built their self up, and you look towards something that they have. So I think it's putting on these idealistic things that we're idolizing these girls or idolizing these guys or idolizing these heroes, when really those are fake, but the idea behind it isn't. And so we're getting confused because we're like, well, yeah, heroes are real. Yes, heroes are real. But no, it's not in the form of that movie. No, that girl is not as pretty as you're thinking, because yes, she still has flaws. There's no one perfect. And so when you're thinking that they have no flaws, it's lying to yourself, it's lying to her, and it creates things like OnlyFans, because she'll even take in that and she believes it, and then she goes and does these things. So really, we have to, I guess, still have our morals and still believe in things like heroes and things, but take a step back and realize that we are the heroes, that we can be the main character, that we can do this and get rid of social media, because not everything you see is real. So stop comparing yourself to this guy or this guy, because they're totally different from you and can't relate sometimes. They do relate in some things, and so you're like, I relate to that guy. You do in that part. You don't relate to this guy just throughout the whole thing. And yes, it's my guy, Paul. I love this guy. Saturday night, yes sir, Florida. Facts. Fitness guys, for real, are gay, bruh. It's a problem. It's a big problem. It's crazy. The thing that I've kind of made up is like, a lot of guys go to the gym for girls and you end up pulling guys. It like totally changes. But then as you're there, it becomes more of like a lifestyle. You stop going for girls, you stop going for likes, you stop going for posts, and you kind of just go for yourself, because you realize that it's like the best therapy out there. And any of you that don't believe in like the gym or exercising, and you're like, life is too short to exercise or eat healthy, it's BS, because you have this life, one life. Live it to your full potential, man. Like Justin Waller once said, I don't know if you know him, but another self-improvement guy. He says that he'll be walking in Walmart and see a guy that's like 6 foot tall with blue eyes, but he's overweight and like doesn't know how to groom himself or dress well. And he says that he's super happy that that guy does not have his life figured out, because he would be his competition. There are so many of you that have these things, that are tall, that are strong, that are intelligent, but you don't put the work in because you'd rather just stay fat and things. You need to realize that exercising is the best therapy that you can get. And if you don't believe me, then go and exercise, because it is definitely important. And it helps in more ways than you can count. Anyway, talking about social media, like to hear what you guys have to say, even though we only have my boy Paul on here. But Paul, what would you say about social media and its effects on idealistic people and effects on relationships and things like that? Because as you may I can talk. As you may know, I share my side, but I do ramble a lot. So hopefully you understood that I think it's messing up relationships and things, because it's just creating false hopes and portraying things on men and women that aren't exactly true. I wonder how many people join these live streams, because like I always got my boy Paul, but like I like my own video. Nah, it's funny though. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see the comments, but anyone that watches this later, Paul says, I swim laps twice a day and gym every night. I would say that social media is damaging psychologically. First off, swimming laps is great for you. Oh, we got another person. Swimming laps is great for you, so good for you, Paul. Because swimming takes full body workout. It's a whole thing. And then gym, definitely, it will change your life, guys. It's crazy. It changes your appearance, so you no longer feel as insecure. You do feel insecure like me, I guess. The body dysmorphia, that's 100% real. Like, you just feel small some days. You feel like Hercules the others. It's not going to all be like that, but you do feel like, in general, you have less insecurities. You feel better. You feel better in your body. And a strong body has a strong mind. You can't have a strong mind and unhealthy body, and vice versa. So gym is definitely important, and it's super helpful. And social media is definitely damaging psychologically. It's damaging psychologically. I studied psychology for a little bit in high school. I just graduated actually, but studied psychology for 1 year in high school. And my teacher was a little weird, but besides the point, we took some tests and quizzes about like personality tests and trauma tests, all these things. And she says, I think there was one lesson how we talked about how literally the simplest things can change. If y'all don't know, there was, I think there was an experiment in Stanford or something like that that took 20 college kids, put 10 as prisoners and 10 as police officers. And they told them that they were police officers and they were inmates. Like they had the whole thing, they had a lunch, they had prison cells, they had everything. And when they were just told that they were inmates and the others were just told that they were officers, you started seeing strong men fall weak and you started seeing weak men become strong. It's crazy that people can put a label on you and you accept that label and kind of dwindle down to it or rise up to it. So it's definitely damaging because on social media you're seeing the best of everybody's life. And so you put them on the pedestal and you're allowing them to take you over and diminish your life meaning. And what's the point of that? Like if you look at these social media people, you look at rich people, you look at these things, not all of them are happy. Some of them have depression. They're all human. You look at them close, some have like defects, some have missing arms, some have freckles, some have birthmarks, some are small and like not training in the gym. There's always something I learned in my business class. There's always something that you can help someone with. And if you want to be rich, you got to learn how to do that. You got to learn how to problem solve. So if I want to be rich, I would personally go to Elon Musk. You know what he's lacking? He's lacking health. I would go over and I would provide him with health. I would be the guy that takes him, I'd be his gym guy, I'd be his nutrition guy, I would be his daily meal planner. He would pay me for giving him something that he's lacking. That's what you need to do. These social media people look like they're lacking nothing. And so you put yourself way down when really they're the same as you. They just took action on something, found out what they're good at, and post about that. And you're like, they're good at everything, they're good at this. When really, there's so many things that are struggling in their life. Yes. Wait, I'm kind of curious now, Paul. How is Florida healthier? How is Florida a healthier lifestyle? I've heard that New York air is bad, so I mean that might be a reason. But as far as I know, I don't think that like they eat too much or anything. I feel like that's just like US in general. Okay, I agree with Paul here. He just said that as he's gotten older, he's subscribed to a ton of channels, same as me. You just kind of subscribe to just all these things that interest you, but you realize that they're confusing. A lot of social media people are confused. They talk about stuff that they don't understand. Oh, we got a max. We got 3 people in. I know that some might leave, but before they leave, we got 3, so let's go. This is like the longest live I've got. Anyway, so Paul was just saying that as he's gotten older, he's subscribed to people and they've become confused. That's 100%, and I'm not going to say that's on social media. That's not part of the controversial topic. But if any of you know Aiden Ross or even video game, like my brother watches Typical Gamer or something like that, a lot of them are just straight up confused. And like Aiden Ross doesn't know what he's doing. He's fallen in to that trap that I was talking about. He idolizes people like social media people when really they're the exact same as you. Why are you putting them on a pedestal when all you see is the good things that they do in life? They're exact same as you. They just post only the good things and you see only the bad in you. I've heard that humans are a lot more judgmental to themselves than they are to like other people. So what you see in yourself is not necessarily what other people see you. When you see, oh, I'm ugly, or oh, I'm not strong, or oh, my freckles are terrible, not everyone sees that. Some people don't notice your freckles. Some people like how strong you are. All those things. So kind of just, you got to adjust to that because we all think that we're made to be perfect when really we're not. But a lot of influencers are confused. I would say I'm a little confused myself. I kind of just post these, kind of just ramble, but I try to get my thoughts out there and hopefully they could spark someone else's thoughts. So like, I believe in that guy. And we can build a following of a general basis so that we don't have all these inequality, equality, and we can find an equilibrium, which is just an equal point, straight line down the middle where we can all agree on something. So a lot are confused, and to answer that, a lot of them are confused because they don't know what they want. I don't know what I want all the time, but I do know my thoughts on things. I know that I'm good at answering questions, and so I'll find controversial topics and answer the question. And that's what I believe. And usually it's in the middle because I'm not black and white, but at least you know my thoughts on it and you can vary to one side, but as long as you vary to one side, I can hopefully build a brand for you and myself. Okay, Paul answered the question. If any of you are wondering, South Florida is healthier than New York City because of the tropical weather, which makes sense. So he can do things like swim every single day, like he said. He can have cleaner air because with the tropical weather, when it's raining and pouring, you're getting rid of that pollution and things because it's the, what's it called? I'm just gonna say rain system. I don't even know. The rain system, when it goes down, you take the water, hits the dust particles, and then just goes in that loop, so it'll clean your air. And then he said something about happier atmosphere, which I think is pretty cool because it's like this same thing that like whatever you surround yourself with, that's what like you get. I feel like when you surround yourself in that tropical vibe, oh, we got another person. When you surround yourself in that tropical vibe, you're gonna portray the like happier atmosphere. Like if I go to Hawaii, right? They're all like super happy. I'm gonna portray that happy atmosphere because that's what I'm receiving. And so I think that is definitely a reason why it's healthier than New York City. So that's, if any of you are wondering, there you go. And thanks, Paul. I try to be intelligent. I don't know what lucid means, so that's probably controversial when you're like, he's intelligent but doesn't know what that word means. But hey, I'd love to learn what that word means. I don't know who this other guy is, but welcome. We're talking about controversial topics, talking about social media, impacting relationships. If you'd like, comment on what you think about that. But don't really know where to go from here, so I'm kind of just waiting for you guys because I kind of like feedback to like one-on-one talk. Otherwise, I just ramble. Lucid, the meaning is logical and clear. I'm glad I'm clear because I totally just go on these little rants and sometimes say unnecessary things. I try to learn about communication and get rid of ums and ahs. Those are filler words. And non-words such as like funner or like or just like words that don't exist but we think that they're words. So I'm glad I can be clear even if I do hesitate or use words that make no sense. And logical, I'm glad I can be logical. I try to be logical. I think logical is pretty important because a lot of people are like, I want both sides. You know, a lot of people ask me like, what do you want to be good at? Well, I guess you could say weird. I want to be good at everything. And people are like, why not just master one skill? And I'm like, well, it'd be cool to master one skill, but I'd even rather be like the Swiss Army knife. Even if I do everything good, I just feel comfortable having to do everything. If I can sell, if I can do everything, I don't know why, but a lot of people want to master one thing. I want to do everything, but I don't really have an answer for that, but I just like it. I'm glad I can be logical though, because some things that I say make no sense or they just ramble and you don't get the point. But I like to combine logic with spirituality because I feel like those fit super well. Because if you can understand spirituality and you can understand logic, you got the world figured out, basically. If you think about it, spirituality is basically things that you cannot understand with logic. And logic is things that I guess you can understand on earth. So it makes more sense if you just combine the two because then you kind of understand everything and you can have deeper conversations with successful people. Because if I go to a successful person, okay, and he starts talking to me logically, spiritually, really anything, how am I supposed to respond if I don't know for it myself? If he says something super deep and I'm like, yeah, I don't know what that means. Well, what value do you provide to this guy? Like, you're just wasting his time. You're wasting your own time. So might as well be good at both. And I kind of take this view on everything. That's why I say I have four main goals in life. I want to be intellectually smart. I want to be social. I want to be physically, like, these are just like all goals that I want to be good at. So like, physically, my body in shape, socially, can hold a conversation, good communication skills, intelligent, book smart, and then you have spiritual. I want to have those four things. I feel like those four things are building blocks for everything. You have those four things, you're unstoppable. Physically, if you are like physically fit, you provide so much to the table and people will listen to you because that you're an outward expression of discipline. They see that you are disciplined. So they'll listen to you more. If you're intelligent, you have more things to say, you provide more to the table, and every human can talk, but some talk better than others. And so when I'm talking to a guy that uses ums and ahs and buts, I kind of, every and every ah kind of gets rid of something. If I were to talk to you right now and say, first example, oh, we got another person. We had two guys stay for the longest amount of time that we've ever had. So thanks for joining. If I were to say to you, I'm going to use the ums and ahs as an example and watch how it changes everything. If I were to say to you and be like, yeah, I have been in the medical field, probably for 10 years now. Think I'm pretty good. I kind of work on the brain, and over these experiences, I felt like I've kind of understood people, and I think I can really help them. Okay, you see that? Verse, you see, it's getting dark in my room. Anyway, verse, you see the other side, which is, yeah, I work neurologically on the brain on people. I've had a decade of experience. Never say 10 years, you round up to a decade. It makes you so much more credible. I have had a decade years of experience, and I'm here to help you with whatever you need. I've studied this brain and performed 100 procedures. I can successfully help you with whatever you're struggling with. Now, if you need to pause, that's okay. You saw me pause. Pause and collect your thoughts. Now, obviously, this is a lot harder because I am cannot talk in front of people. Have my mission farewell coming up, and I'm terrified for that. I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm probably gonna say ums and ahs and revert back to everything. But yeah, it's just a clear difference. So that's why intelligence is important. Oh, thanks, Paul. You can listen to me for hours. I'm glad we got somebody because I ramble. I could definitely make this video an hour long. Hey, spiritual and successful. That is amazing. Those combined so well because you have the insight to back it up. If you're successful on this planet and you're spiritual, you can back up that success through things that people don't through something that people don't quite understand. Yes, Matt, he caught my live. Welcome, Matt. I don't think I've seen you unless you're the guy that talked about the other time missed the live by a couple minutes. In that case, it's nice to meet you. What are your thoughts, Matt? What would you like to put in the chat that I could just kind of talk about? I kind of talked about my social media thing, so kind of over with that. But if you wanted to know what I was thinking, we were just talking about social media and how it affects relationships and things, and I just said it definitely does. Creates idealistic views. But now I'm wondering what you guys want to talk about. So whatever you put in the chat, I'll talk about. And whoever this third person is, feel free to put in the chat what you want to talk about, and I'll talk about it. Andrew Tate, gender roles, really anything. Talk about anything on this channel. Just give you my 2 cents. Bro, this guy's crazy. We got 3 in and then out. He's just in and out. It's kind of funny. Can I reply to you guys in this chat? I want to talk to you through the chat. I know, that was the wrong button. Don't click that. Oh wait, hold up. Nope, I don't think I can. I haven't figured out a way to talk to you guys through the chat. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we got the third person back in. They're gonna bounce out. Let me guess. 3, 2, 1. Dang, I was off. They're still here. I mean, that's good, but like, I thought it'd be. Oh, they're out. I was close. Okay, well, while Matt's gathering thoughts, maybe. Oh, he gathered. Okay, let's see. Okay, I like the way you worded this question. How do you personally balance the sacred and secular, or are they the same? I don't know what secular means. Like, I have an assumption, but you should clarify. Just because I don't want to sound like an idiot by talking about something and like giving you false information. But I would just, like, my assumption is it's like what I've been talking about, like sacred, and then secular is probably like logical, like the opposite of sacred. I don't really know, though. Hey, verbally is better. Let's go. I don't know if I could swipe out of this chat to search up what secular means, and I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I don't want to find out, so. Oh, I think it's, wait, did Paul leave? Is it just you? Sacred is the spiritual, secular is the mundane. From the Latin of this word, mundane. I'm a lot more unintelligent than I thought. What is mundane? So, mundane. Like, do you listen to pop music, participate in pop culture? Okay, well, I know what the second part means. Do you listen to pop music, participate in pop culture? Now, don't exactly know what pop culture is, but I do listen to pop music, yes. No, so I definitely listen to both. So if you don't know, this is the first I'm actually disclosing this, so you'll be the first one, Matt. But I belong to, my church is the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormons, LDS, whatever you want to call it. I guess you could say we believe, like, you don't have to only listen to church things. You can, there's a life balance. So I can listen to really whatever. You'll kind of know in your heart, like, if it's wrong for you, but everyone's different. So I kind of balance it because, like, pop and pop culture and like things, I guess you could say worldly things, you can still listen to those. So I still do have days that I'll listen to K-Love, which is one of the things like me and my mom listen to that talks about church. But there is days, most days I actually do listen to pop and like rock or things that are like, I guess, the big hits that are happening now. I say the life balance is, at least for me, I'm not too good at balancing them, but I do have days that I'm set. So on Sundays is when I have church. So Sundays, we keep the Sabbath day holy, so we try not to listen to pop, and we keep and build a stronger connection and reconnect and start the week off with our connection to God. So we believe that the new week starts on Sunday. So then we go to church, do our young men's discussion, whatever. We come home and we try not to, like, everything we do every day, we try to get rid of and keep this day different. So say we listen to rock every day. You don't listen to rock and you listen to church music. Or say you are busy every day. You take away the busy out of your life and you kind of just chill with family, even friends. Say you're outside exercising every day. You don't exercise on Sunday because it's supposed to be a day devoted to Jesus. And so you kind of put forth and sacrifice for him when he says he wants your time. You'll say, I'll sacrifice what I do on a daily to help you. And then for the other side, like, the balance is you can still have fun. Like, we do have, I guess you could say, a lot of people call them restrictions. They're called the commandments, which is like the things that our religion believes that shouldn't be done. So no false, cannot believe in like false gods. Like, you do not worship false gods. You believe in the Holy Ghost. No smoking, no drinking. Those are like the big ones. No sex before marriage. Those are all the biggest ones of our church that people don't quite understand. And if you want to, I can explain more in depth about those. But the balance is we're just normal. We kind of just have a good balance. Like you wake up, you do whatever. And if you want to, like, it's not a must. If you want to think about Christ, you want to read your scriptures, you do. If you don't, then you don't. And some days you're going to feel like Hercules and you're going to be really on top of your scriptures, and some days you're not. But you kind of just find that balance naturally because you feel different when you don't study those scriptures. You feel different when you're only, even the other way, when you're only studying scriptures and not doing what you want to do. And so just naturally you'll find out like this doesn't feel right. And so you'll kind of just adjust to that. Oh, I love these questions. This I could stay on for hours when people ask questions about like personal things to me. As an LDS, how do you communicate your faith to other Christians? Who do you not see? Who do you not see Mormonism is valid expression of Christian theology? Is it hard to be kind when they discount your faith? Autocorrect. Change my typing. How do you communicate? How the rest is valid. How do you communicate your faith to other Christians who do not see Mormonism as valid? Okay, so I'll answer them question at a time. So how do we communicate your faith to other Christians who do not see Mormonism as valid? Now, we're not here to convince you that we're the right faith. We're not here to make you join our church or anything like that. But we are here to help you and answer your questions. So for me personally, there's a thing that we call missionaries for our church that go out for 2 years. They sacrifice 2 years of their lives, and they go out to wherever they get called, whatever the Lord wants them, and they will talk. And basically, they're disciple of Christ. They're going around and spreading His word. So that's the biggest way I feel like that our church gets around to other places is missionaries. Now, I'm myself going to become a missionary on June 17th is when my home MTC starts. MTC is just Missionary Training Center. So that's when I start training to leave to Tahiti, which is actually where I was called to serve. Speaking French, which I don't know French. So that'll be fun. But you kind of go around and you try not to force anything, but you kind of just expound and answer their questions. Oh, we've had 4. We got 4 people. We've never had 4. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. So kind of like you, when you ask a question, I'll just basically answer as I normally would. So we believe like if they don't believe in things, we'll kind of expound on it. Now, the biggest things that people don't understand about our church is Joseph Smith, which is the true, like we believe like a true prophet of Christ that most people don't believe because he was 14 when he received the golden plates, which is the scriptures, the Book of Mormon, which we also believe in the Book of Mormon, and most churches don't. They believe in the Bible. And I'm just going to keep talking even though everyone left because I kind of love this stuff. But we believe in those. And so you kind of show them the other side. So they'll believe in the Bible. That means that they're Christian. And then you show them the Book of Mormon, which not necessarily they haven't seen. But you can show them that because you know that they're Christian. You know that they believe in Christ. But then you just show them that other little side and kind of show them what they might be missing or might want. Is it hard to be kind when they discount your faith? For me personally, it's not hard to be kind to someone because I don't see them different. We're all here doing what we believe in. And just because I do what I believe doesn't mean that you're going to believe that same thing. And so I don't find it hard to be kind to someone that doesn't agree with my faith. I actually find it quite compelling to have conversations with them because I kind of see what other people see that I don't realize because I've always been in this church. So we don't discount them. We kind of actually, I guess you could say, like, supposed to love them more because they don't know what we know. And to be honest, I feel kind of sad. We believe that there's life after death, and some religions don't believe that. And me, as losing a brother, I feel like I could not deal with not knowing that I would see my brother again. And so I kind of just want to generally see where they're coming from, and then I'll just say my 2 cents. And I feel like there's no distance. They'll kind of feel my spirit there, and that's how we just connect. We're never disconnected, but we do not see eye to eye, but we kind of see eye to eye after they fill my spirit and understand, and I have like evidence to back up why these things happen. How do you keep the scriptures from becoming an idol? That's a great question, and the way you worded that question is actually awesome. So, I was actually talking about earlier about how we idolize things. So, we believe in like the separate things. So, scriptures are another test, like the Book of Mormon is another testament of Jesus Christ. But you don't idolize the scriptures. You idolize Jesus Christ. Or you don't idolize him, but you worship Jesus Christ. And the scriptures are his words that he basically, what he would say to the people at a certain time. So, if you know Nephi or Lehi, they would pray to God, which is how we talk to God. And he, there's a quote that basically will answer this, is like, if you want to talk to God, we pray. If you want God to talk to you, you read your scriptures. So we will pray. You pray to God, and then if you look in the scriptures through past experiences, you can find your answer. So we don't idolize them, but it's one of the first places we turn to when we want a question answered, because that's how Jesus answers us, but he also answers us through prayers. So it's kind of listen with your heart and be still, and he'll give you a warm feeling or a thought or something, and then look towards your scriptures. But if you don't put effort in, then he's not going to answer you. So you have to put an effort, because he doesn't just give you. So you have to reach. He can't grab you if you're not reaching for him. So you got to reach. That's why we have scriptures, but we don't idolize them. Do you count other Christians as saved, or do you believe they need to convert to the Book of Mormon? I realize saved, so loaded term. That's also a good question. Everyone asks this. I believe they are saved. Now, there's different takes on this, but me personally, when you're here on earth and you have only been taught about Christianity, I believe that you're saved because you're looking towards what you believe. Now, say it's not what I believe, but you're looking and trying your best, and it's what you understand. And if it's what you understand and you still look towards God, God understands you and understands your heart and understands that you are trying to follow him and you think that's the right path. And we believe that when you get to heaven, that you will be judged and given a second chance. So say here on earth, even a villain, you're here on earth, you're a killer or something, you go up to heaven, you still have a second chance to get into the celestial kingdom or be saved, however you want to call it, even after you're dead. Now, that doesn't mean that you can just be bad here and then go up there and get your second chance, but it does mean that if you're willing to try up there, like you didn't know about it down here, but you learn about it up there and you want to try, people like me can do baptisms for the dead, and I could baptize you, and then if you're up in heaven, you can accept that, and then you'd be joined and can start taking the steps to become our church. Or you can decline that if that's not what you believe. It's your choice, but I did the work. So it's a good question. I hope I answered these. If any of them didn't answer, you want me to go more in specifically, I can definitely do that. Oh no, it definitely doesn't grill me. I definitely love talking about this actually. So please, if you have more questions, keep them coming. If you want me to expound on them, definitely, totally can. Definitely love talking about this because a lot of people don't understand it, and I feel like for me to better understand my own religion, I should teach it. And so I can't teach something if they don't ask questions, but people that ask questions, I seem to be able to answer, and it builds my faith a little bit because I'm like, oh, I kind of do know a little bit more about this than I thought. Guys, this is the longest live stream I've had. This is crazy. And I've had 2 people stay. But yeah, if you have any other questions, Matt, I'd love to answer. If I could also ask you, I was wondering what you, like, religion you are a part of, and kind of want to hear about that, because I don't know really anything about other religions. I kind of don't. Me living in Utah, everyone's Mormon, and so we don't really get to, like, talk to people that believe in different things. So it's kind of intriguing to hear those things. Good. Keep doing these lives. I don't know any Mormons on a one-on-one basis. Oh, cool. Well, then I'll be the first one. So anything that you have wondered, definitely ask me. I'm here to answer you, bro. We've already got a 40-minute live, so I mean, if you got more questions, keep them coming. Wonder if I could see the two viewers, like if this is Paul or someone. Probably is, but I don't know. But yeah, just out of curiosity, if it's like not personal or anything, just wondering like what religion you are and like kind of how it varies from mine, because I totally want to like understand like the other way around, because I can't like, I guess, fully understand something if I don't know the other side of it. You know, you can't like expect someone to catch you if you don't jump off the cliff or something first. So I feel like I know my side, but I don't know the other side, so I can't really say different things. I have a PhD in religious studies from Princeton. I was raised in a home that was Jewish and Roman Catholic. I struggle with any belief now. Sometimes knowledge kills. Oh, sorry. Dang, PhD, smart. That makes me feel good talking to someone that has a PhD. Okay, cool. Okay. I don't necessarily want to read it out loud just in case there's other people like might want to watch this and stuff, unless you want me to. But I'll definitely answer. I am curious about like the two religions. Like, tell me a little bit more about those, because like I know about them, but like I don't know too much. But I do know like Jew or getting these confused. Jesus was Jewish, and so I just want to hear about like what Jewish beliefs, since Jesus was Jewish. But I can definitely relate actually to that last part of, I have been a victim too of where knowledge kills my faith, because I'm a very like, I guess you could say, I try to be a logical person because it makes more sense to me when I am logical, because say I'm logical and I'm like, okay, logical here on earth is what keeps me alive. What's keep me running. Like if I want money, you got to be logical. You don't just like hope for money. So I've definitely fallen victim of that too. But what helps me is the things that you can't explain like logically. Like me and my brother were talking about the other day, actually, like mixed sides, because I get a little confused on this. But one example I'm gonna talk about, and I might get this way confusing, is like the Big Bang Theory. And like it just didn't make sense to me of how something can start from nothing. So I'm like, okay, something can't start from nothing, so it had to start from something that we obviously don't see. Now, I believe that Christ is like out of space and out of time, and so he cannot be affected by time, matter, or space. And so that's how he could create the world, because there was nothing. He's not affected by that. He's not affected by time. He's not affected by matter. So that's how he could make something. And then, lost my train of thought. I'll just keep answering the questions. If I have some pop up, I'll just talk about it. But there's definitely, I will say, there's definitely times where I believe like knowledge kills my faith. But I do believe like, if you believe in evil, there's got to be good too. You got to like follow both sides of the coin. There is still some things that like I logically understand more than faithfully understand, which I'd love to talk about those, because maybe you could even help me, because I'm try to be logical, but I definitely need to work on that. Judaism is the okay. That's cool. Okay. Okay. Cool. I understood some of that. Some of these we don't quite understand. There is a part that I understood of the Judaism. They are called to be gods, people to bless all nations. In our religion, we actually believe that first off, we have the priesthood. The priesthood is the power of God. So I have the Aaronic priesthood, and a lot of these, like if you go to a bishop or go to other people, they can tell you more about it. And there's some things that I can't talk about because it's more sacred. Luckily, I don't think I know any of these yet. I'm about to go to the temple like later, and I'll figure them out. But I feel like I could say most of these. I have the Aaronic priesthood, which is like the level 1 priesthood. So it's the priesthood of God, and this helps me bless the sacrament. It helps me prepare the sacrament. It helps me like look after people in the ward and things like that. It gives me added responsibility after a baptism. I'm about to get Melchizedek priesthood. That priesthood is the second level, the highest level of priesthood you can get, and there's only 2 levels. And this level is where you can, you have all the other exceeding roles that you did, but now you can bless people, so I can give them a blessing. So when they're sick, I give them a blessing and use the power of God that I have to help them. And since it's the power of God, it doesn't necessarily mean it'll work, but it means that I can try, because I can't change God's fate. And so if he needs you back for work in heaven, then he's going to need you back. But if I can talk to him and I can say, like, I need him for work on here, and he says, yeah, it's not your time, then a healing can happen through me. Because I didn't heal this guy. Jesus did, but he healed him through me. So we also believe that if you follow Christ and believe the commandments and all these things, that you, like, our goal is to become like God. And if you make it to the celestial kingdom, like, there's not really a bad kingdom. There's celestial, telestial, and terrestrial. These, like, the celestial is the highest kingdom, and terrestrial and telestial, you go to whatever one you're comfortable with. That's what I like. Because say that I go, like, you don't have to go to celestial. Say you're not comfortable there. Like, people are too good, or there's something that you don't like. You won't go there because you're not comfortable. But in the celestial, you get added, I guess you could say, not benefits, but added additional things that from God that you couldn't get in other ones because you were better. Like, I guess not better, but you looked, I guess, acted upon his name more than other people. So we believe that you'll be able to create a world like Jesus did, and you'll be the Christ and God of that other world. So that's, I guess, how we can relate to Judaism, which is pretty cool, actually. Oh, shoot, I'm falling behind. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Yeah, the Old Testament. Okay. Interesting. Could I ask a question of, like, what do you believe? Like, if you don't believe in afterlife, like life after death, then what do you believe? Is it kind of just like a black void? Is it like what happens? What would be the point of life if there's nothing after it? I'm just curious. Acts, okay. Okay. I like this. He's also giving me a history, so I can kind of understand this because I don't really know much about this. Yep. Yeah, so we do use the Bible and the Book of Mormon. We believe in the Bible too. So a lot of the things that we believe, other churches believe too, and it kind of makes sense to them. So if you might know, I don't know if you know if this is in the Bible or the Book of Mormon, but we know that Moses created the 10 Commandments on, I think it's called Mount Sinai. And we also know that Moses parted the Red Sea. So if you know those stories, we believe in those, and like we believe in the Bible and Book of Mormon. So I feel like a lot of these should be pretty familiar, which should be able to help. Okay, fair. I don't like to think much about it either. It kind of destroys my brain. But okay. You said, I think earlier, I would scroll up. Well, I should scroll up so I don't get this wrong, but where is it? Okay, I don't know exactly what I was looking for, but maybe is this? You just said like you felt called back on some beliefs, and like some you believe and some you don't. So I'm wondering, is there anything that I've said that you like kind of believe or kind of want to learn more about personally, or like feel interested in that I could probably go more in depth in or something? Because I think it's interesting how we point out some of these things that I didn't even know were real. Like, I didn't know, like, other people thought of this, and I couldn't imagine it, so it's kind of cool to see, like, both sides. But yeah, personally, myself, we believe, like, just that life after death thing. After you die, there's this thing called the millennium, where you go and stay 1,000 years, and it's not heaven. It's like kind of where you go before you're judged. So it's kind of heaven. So there's no, like, everything on this world, like, there will be no poisonous animals. You cannot get hurt. You cannot grow old. You'll have, like, your best body. Like, if you're paralyzed down here, when you get there, you will not be paralyzed. So you'll be able to run and do whatever. That's what we call heaven. So that's before you get judged to the celestial or terrestrial. Sea turtle. So celestial, terrestrial. That's where you go before you get judged. Now, for those 1,000 years, I think we just believe in all the things, like, in all the areas you're teaching. So in the millennium, you'll be teaching about Christ, or you'll be learning, or you'll be doing the work of Christ, or, like, given the chance to accept it or decline it, is basically what it is. But everything in that, like, worldly things won't be there. So you won't have poison, you won't have sickness, you won't have death, you won't have anything like that. And then after that millennium, which is like the second coming when Jesus comes back, after that millennium, you have the judgment, which is where you go based on not what you did in life, but kind of based on, like, your heart, based on if you actually believe in Christ, and not just believe, but acted on it. Like, you can't say, like, I believe in Christ, and then, like, for me, I can't say I believe in Christ, and then the next day I go and smoke and drink. It's counterintuitive. Now, you can repent. Repentance is, like, you ask for forgiveness from God, and he forgives you and basically sees as if you never done it. So he wipes the slate clean for you. And that's what the sacrament reminds us of, is weekly repentance is like, you're forgiven. Like, you get to restart. So make sure that you, I guess, do what you actually believe in. Jesus gives us agency, so you can pick between good and bad, but you do have to suffer the consequences. So if you know Christ, but you deliberately disobey, that's how you will get into a lower kingdom. Now, granted, it's not lower, it's just where you're more comfortable. And so we believe in those kingdoms. And then each kingdom has a power of God. And there is some requirements to get into the kingdom, because you have to be like God. So if I want to be like God and get to the celestial kingdom, you have to have a wife, because he had a wife. You want to be like God and get to the celestial kingdom, you have to, like, not be perfect, but you have to be trying. You have to, like, repent. You have to do things. So yeah, it's just like a quick rundown of what we believe. As always, if you want me to go any deeper, I can. Cynic, I don't know what that means. I don't even know if I said that right. I'm happy when people... I'm glad that you can take something away from this, even if I just ramble and some these things I say don't make sense. And granted, some of these things don't even make sense to me, but I'm just saying personally, like, what I've seen in my life, like, why I believe is true. It's called a testimony. I just believe, like, in this, and it's because of this. Perfect. Okay. That is something I like to touch on, actually. I like how you do your research. So terrestrial from the Latin means of earth and ground. Celestial means of heavens. Now, as I just said of, like, heaven, this is from my understanding. I obviously don't know because I'm not there, but from my understanding, heaven is before you get judged, which is not the celestial kingdom. They're different. But we also know, like, heavens is like a divine place or something. So when we're talking about heaven, that's just the place you go before you're judged. But the celestial kingdom is the heavens, but it's not the place that you go before you're judged. Celestial kingdom is the heavens of, like, your paradise, your utopia, your whatever you want to call it. And terrestrial, I like how that means. I don't know what it's, like, exactly what it entails, but in one of my scriptures, or one thing I learned, like, one of the kingdoms or heaven or something is going to be this earth. The wicked will be, like, wiped clean. Now, not necessarily wiped clean like dead, but they will be, like, punished for what they did. They'll be either learning how to come to earth and gain this, but I've heard that earth will become one of the, like, kingdoms. It'll just be cleansed from all the evil, and it'll become pure. So it'll get rid of, like I said, the, like, poisonous things, death, all these things. So earth is what I've heard, could become a kingdom or terrestrial or heaven or something like that. I don't know exactly, but I know that it might become one of the things. But I'm glad you researched that, because maybe it will be the terrestrial, so maybe that just opened my eyes of like when they say that they're talking about one of the things might be on Earth, it might be the terrestrial kingdom. Celestial, terrestrial, yeah. I think that's right, actually. I would say, I don't know 100%, but I'm going to say that terrestrial could be on Earth. Yeah, definitely. It says that he'll create a new heaven and a new earth. Hold up. My mom's calling me. I'll be back. Yeah? I can't. I don't know if I can. Okay, I'll try. It's hot in here, bro. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Yeah. Okay, yeah, makes sense. To be honest, don't know really either, so I'm just kind of taking... Oh, we got another person. This is like such a long live stream, so just let me know when I should end it if you get bored. The thing I believe is when you said, like, God will create a new heaven and a new earth, he will. 100%. That's what I've been saying, except the thing is, I don't think... A lot of people take for granted or, like, misword. I'm not saying that you did, but saying, like, other people... He's not going to create, I think, a new... So he's not going to destroy this one and create a new one. But I think he's going to, like, renovate it. And he's going to get rid of, like, the evil and the worldly things and create it as if it's a heaven or a utopia. And to do that, you're going to have to get rid of, and I guess clean slate, what we have now. For instance, the instrument cello. Cello in Italian means of heaven, and was named such as because its beautiful timbre. Likewise, the percussion instrument celeste, as it sounds heavenly. Oh wow, 20 to midnight. Yeah, I'll definitely keep doing live streams. I don't know if there's a way to chat or whatever, but I'll try to do live streams as soon as I can, and definitely I'll take that into consideration. East Coast, so it's midnight or 20 to midnight. So mine's 9:30 right now. We'll say just round to 9, like 9. So actually 10. So 10, 11, 12. So you're 3 hours. So start doing mine a little earlier. Okay. Yeah, so definitely I'll reach out and I'll do these. Thanks for staying up. If you got any more questions or anything, totally let me know, and I'll start doing lives more frequently so we could talk and keep that communication going. But thanks for asking the questions and being engaged, Matt. It's good to see you, and good night, brother. I hope you have a good one. And to the other guy that just joined, what's up? Missed some good conversations. But yeah, good night, Matt. Have a good one.